Hello and welcome back to another State of the Market for March 2023. I'm Scott Zaino from Scott Zaino Realty Group and Keller Williams Luxury Realty coming to you live here from my office for another monthly update on the real estate market. You own real estate and you're curious? This video is for you. You're thinking about buying a piece of property, not sure what to do, who to listen to, who to talk to? This video is for you. If you own real estate and you just want to see how things are going, maybe you're thinking about selling or maybe buying another piece of property or investment piece of property, this video is for you. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go over all the different sectors like we usually do, and then we're going to look at some slides. So let's just go right here. Let me just share my screen. And let's start right here with the median sales price. So the median sales price for the end of March was 650,000. Now we do these every month, and I like to do a little bit of history when we looking at these different sectors. So in February, the average median sales price was 629,500, and in March it went up $20,000. See that right there? Okay, so what that tells us is the median sales price went up over $20,000. Now, I want to show you guys something. Let's say you were in the market when the interest rates were really high back in September, and you said, I think I'm going to wait a little bit and see if the prices come down, right? So let's go back 6 months from March. So let's go back to like October. So September, the median sales price was 650. Today it's 650. It did go up a little bit in October to 662, but then as the interest rates went up a little bit each month, the prices did drop, right? Right here in January as low as 610. But look at here, February 629, March 650. So you're back into the spring market. There's more buyers out there and prices are going up. Inventory is still low, which we're going to talk about. So let's talk about active listings. So this is a big portion of the driving market of the real estate, right? It's all based off of supply and demand and inventory. So March, we had 454 units, right? And in February, we had 425 units. So we've gone up 25 units, which is good, but we're so far still behind the 8 ball compared to where we were back in pre-COVID. And I could do that by just adjusting this graph here a little bit. So if you go back to March of 2020, we were sitting at 1,986 units. Now that includes houses, condos, and raw land. Okay, so that was 1,986 units. Today we're sitting at 454 units. All right. So if you're thinking about selling your house, just take a look at this graph and you can see how low inventory is and why it's the opportune time to list your house, which incidentally, the week of April 16th to the 22nd, based on the stats, is the ultimate time to list your home for sale. And that's just within the next 2 weeks. So if you're thinking about selling your house, you need some help getting it prepared, give us a call. We're happy to help. The next quadrant we want to look at is your days on market. So this tells us as real estate agents how quickly properties are going under contract. So this number actually amazed me a little bit. March, it was 15 days from the day it was listed, an average of 15 days on market. But look what February was 30. So we've cut our days on market in half with just 1 month, which again just tells me the market is more robust. The weather was better, and there's more buyers out there looking to get in a home. And the interest rates all have something to do with it. So between February and March, perhaps there was a couple adjustments in the interest rates, and so people jumped on it right there. See that? Let's talk about your months of supply. So we've talked about this before, right? So you've got your months of supply at 1.4. What's that mean, Scott? That means, so 1.4 months of supply means if no other properties came back on the market, we would run out of inventory in 1.4 months. In February, it was 1.3 months. So we did gain another 30 homes versus last month. Hence, the 1.3 months went to 1.4. But still, it's a seller's market. It's been a seller's market for a very, very long time. Right here, when you start getting into 4 months, so June of 2020, that's about the last time it was a seller's market. It's been a seller's market since June of 2020. So anytime you're below 4 months of inventory, that's a seller's market, right? Anything between 5 and 6 months, that's a neutral market. And then anything more than 6 months of inventory is a buyer's market. So we continue to stay in a seller's market at 1.4 months for the month of March. Let's take a look at the list of percentage of list to sales price ratio. So we've talked about this before. So if you put your house on the market for $1 million, Scott, how much can I expect to get? Well, let's look at the list to sales price ratio. That's the best gauge, and that's what we're looking at here. So the list to sales price ratio for the month of March was 98.7. So if you listed it for $1 million, you'd get 980,000 for it, right? In February, it was 98. Okay. List to sales price ratio was 98 in February, and it was 98.7 in March, which tells us that the offers are coming in as strong, if not stronger. That extra 0.7 of a point pushed it up. In January, it was 97. And you can see when you go back to some of these months here in June, July, May, June, and July of last year, 101, 102, 103, 104% over asking price. Today, we're sitting at 98.7 for the month of March. Let's look at the price per square foot. So if you're thinking of build a house, right, you're looking at today at $422 per square foot, whereas in February it was $417. So it went up just a blip there, about an extra, $5 or so per square foot. A year ago, if you were to build a house, let's look at that and see just for giggles. March, it was $364, right? So anybody that built a house back in 2021, it was $364, and then in March of 2022 was $403, and today we're sitting at $422. So if you think about building a house, you can figure $422 a square foot, maybe a little bit less depending on your taste, but right now you're around $422 a square foot. All right, so that takes care of some of the sectors that we like to talk about, which gives us a good feel on the market here on Cape Cod. It's the market that we're talking about here is from Plymouth to P-Town. And so let's go ahead, and I'm just going to share my screen to some slides. So we love doing these videos. It keeps everybody informed. For anybody that's owned real estate or looking to buy real estate, we feel it's our duty as professional real estate agents to relay this information right from where we get it from. There's a lot of different things you see on the news. You read and hear a lot of things on the street. But at the end of the day, if you have a problem with your car, you want to take it to your professional mechanic, right? If you're going to think about buying real estate, then maybe you should, listen to a real estate expert that has their boots on the ground, so to speak, right? Same thing if you're looking to buy insurance. I probably couldn't be the right person to help you with insurance, but if you were talking to someone that specialized in insurance, they'd be able to help you a lot more. So we feel that the first responsibility of a leader is to define reality, because there's so much uncertainty out there right now. So we want to give the best information that we can to all of you so that you make the best informed, educated decision and you're happy with your purchase at the end of the day when you're signing all those closing documents, right? So let's get into number 3 here real quick. So this is a slide that I wanted to share with you, and it's very easy to navigate. So when interest rates are low, right? You have super strong demand. Everybody wants to jump in and to capitalize on those low interest rates. And then as interest rates kind of climb up a little bit, you have good demand here in the 6.5 range, and then limited demand when you start getting at 6.5 and 7. And then when they get over 7, we've noticed that the buyer demand has been weaker. So that's why it's important that you work with a professional lender and lock in at a good low rate when it's low, so that you can take advantage of that. So this is an easy scale to look at. It's just basically the lower the rate, the stronger your buyer demand, right? So let's take a look at inventory real quick. All right. So inventory has been the problem or the issue for a good number of years. We were sitting at only 454 units. So supply and demand. So that's number 8. Let's look at number 10 here. While the number of homes for sale is increasing, well, it didn't go up really much. It only went up 25 houses from the month before, but this is kind of a national thing. So even though, inventory might be increasing, it's increasing at a very small clip. It's still 47.4% lower than what it was from before the pandemic, in 2017, 2018, 2019. All right. So this is a national level of inventory. This is where we're sitting at today, 577,000. This is nationally. And then when you went back to, back here, 17, 18, 19, it was well over 1 million properties for sale. So today we're sitting at 500,000 nationally, right? And locally, we're sitting at 454 units. Some towns only have like 1 property for sale. Have you noticed that? Yeah, so let's take a look at number 12, single-family housing units completed. So this is another area on why the housing market is in the situation that it's in. We rely on a lot of new construction, right? You go down to Florida, Texas, and different parts of down south, and even around here, you see some new construction, but it's very rare, especially on the Cape here, because there's not much land. But for the last 10 years or for the last 14 years, new construction has been below the threshold, all right, of where it needs to be in order to keep prices in check. And so we've been falling very short on those new construction homes every year, all right? And because new construction is another option for people to buy a property, but if new construction is down, then they have to look at the secondhand homes, and then there's not as many secondhand homes to see. So it drives up the price, right? So this is new construction has been down for the last 10 or 12 years, right? So let's take a look at number 15. So this one is, Scott, should I buy a home right now or should I wait? Based off of what I see, if you can afford the payment and you can afford the down payment, I would suggest that you buy a home now, because I'm going to show you a couple of slides here in a minute of what's happening with the market. And I don't want to see you lose out on that equity. So the longer you stay on the sidelines, yes, the interest rates might be a little higher than what you would like to see. But if you're not in the game, just like lottery ticket, right? If you don't play the lottery ticket, you can't win. you got to get into the real estate game because prices go up and down all the time. And right now they're on the rise. So you want to take advantage of that rise in equity, right? And I'm going to show you a couple of cool slides that I have that shows you exactly what's going on in the next 5 years. And I certainly wouldn't want anybody to wait 5 years to buy a house and continue to pay rent if they don't have to, right? Some people just have to pay rent for whatever the reason is, and I respect that. But if you really sincerely want to buy a house, take advantage of all the tax gains and the equity and all the other benefits that come with being a homeowner. Should I buy a home right now, Scott? Yes, I think you should buy a home right now, okay? Because it's just going to keep going up. So that's, we want to take a look at that. So number 19, I want to show you the slide here. So this is why I think you should buy a home now. So potential growth in household wealth over the next 5 years based solely on increased home equity, right? That's profit. If you purchased a home, 400,000 in January of 2023. So here's the sample house that you bought, and then a house for 400,000. Now they're saying that prices are going to go down a little bit this year, and you might take a little dip if you bought the house for 400,000. Maybe it went down to 395, which is okay. It's a small little blip. But here's what happens in 2025, right? Just another year and a half away. It goes back up to 402, then to 417, then to 434, and 454. So this slide shows you that, by sitting on the sidelines, you're going to end up just paying more for the same house that you could buy today. Why pay more? Why pay $50,000 more in 5 years from now when you could get those gains and those equity and still have all the advantages of being a homeowner? So what they're saying is, if you bought a house for 2023 for 400,000, there's going to be about $55,000 in home equity over the next 5 years, and that's good stuff, right? So try going to the bank, plop in 400,000 to the bank, and ask them how much you're going to make in the next 5 years. And the way the banks are going today, 3% or 5%, something like that. The amount of money that you would occur is not nearly close to this. So real estate has always been the place to park money for true wealth. If you talk to anybody that's got any kind of money and any kind of success, I can almost guarantee you a majority of it is from real estate. So in my opinion, that's where to park your money, is in real estate. Some years are better than others, but real estate, we're in it for the long haul. And this 5-year haul, we're talking about $54,000 in gains. That's good stuff. That's why I'm thinking it's best to buy now versus wait. Okay. Let's go to number 28 real quick. So this one here is, when getting help with money, whether it is insurance, real estate, or investments, you should always look for a person with the heart of a teacher, right? That's from Dave Ramsey. So this is what I was talking to about earlier about, talking to the people they have their boots on the ground in the trenches, right? They know what they're talking about. They go to the seminars, they go to these different meetings, that listen to their coaches, that are reading, that are watching videos, podcasts, all that kind of stuff. Now, you have to take it all with a grain of salt and take your little bits and pieces from each one. But at the end of the day, it helps everybody make smarter decisions. And that's really all we want, is people to make educated, informed, smart decisions. And we hope that all of this information that we share with you is helping you do that, okay? Let's talk about number 58 real quick. Okay, so months of inventory. This is nationally. So we're down here at, maybe 2 months worth of inventory nationally. At the Cape, we talked about our months of supply, and we were only at 1.4. So this will vary, at different parts of the country. Some places have more inventory than others. But at the end of the day, nationally, you're sitting around a couple of months of inventory. Let's talk about number 60 real quick. Homes for months of inventory. Excuse me, months of inventory of homes for sale. So you're sitting right here at 2.9 months of inventory. So still below the 4 months of a seller's market, right? Seller's market was 4 months or less. Neutral market was 5 or 6. Buyer's market was 6+. All right. And we got one more slide here for you, and we'll wrap it up. So number 68. So let's talk about mortgage rates. Right now, we're sitting at 6.65 for a 30-year fixed. Okay. If anybody is looking to get a mortgage and you need some help with that, please reach out and we can put you in touch with some of the top lenders in the area to help make that transaction go smooth. Who you finance your property with and who your lender is, without a question, it matters. I've seen all different kinds of lenders over the years, some local, some not local. And, I always believe you go with the local pros. They know the area, their appraisers know the property values better. And it's nice to talk to people on the phone and actually go in if you want to go into their office and talk to them. So I see some value in that. I'm kind of a little old school like that. But I like to have those relationships and be able to talk to people. So today we're sitting at 6.65% for a 30-year fixed rate. And let's see maybe the next slide to see where things are going. So I'll wrap this up real quick here. So mortgage rates, it's 6.65 as of today. The end of the first quarter, 6.4. Then quarter number 2, it's say 6.1. 5.7 for the third quarter, and maybe the fourth quarter, 5.3. Ideally, I think the public is cool with, maybe between 5.25% and 5.5%. I think that's a good interest rate. And I think people are comfortable there. You can still afford a piece of property, as opposed to the rates when they were up in the 7s. That was a little higher, but this is what the government does. They kind of want to put the brakes on the economy a little bit because things were going up too fast. Inflation was too high, so they put those interest rates up, and then buyers don't buy as many properties. Then they bring the interest rates down a little bit at a time. Today we're at 6.6. I'd like to see them in the mid-5s, wouldn't you? Right? The last thing I want to go over is, and let me just get my screen here, and let's see here. So the last thing I want to do is I want to go over the health score. So for the last couple of months, we've been doing a health score, right? So when you go to the doctor once a year, you get your physical, right? They check your blood, they check your vitals and all that. And you say, hey, doc, how am I doing? Well, you're doing good, but maybe you can trim down here or watch what you eat here, maybe lose a few pounds, gain a few pounds, go to the gym, whatever. So I wanted to put a health score on the real estate market. And last month, we were at 8.4. So I dropped it just 1/10 of a point to 8.3. And the reason I did that is just because of what happened with Silicon Valley Bank and people getting a little nervous with that. And then the interest rates, I felt they had come down a little bit, and they were bouncing around a little bit. But so I ended up with an 8.3, which is still a very, very good health score. So the message today is, if you're thinking about selling, April 16th through the 22nd is by far the best week or so to list your property. That's where the most eyeballs are on your property. Most people are out looking and driving around. So that's the best time to list your property. If you're thinking about buying, the rates are down. Give us a call. Again, I'm Scott Zaino with the Scott Zaino Realty Group. Thank you so much for watching another episode of State of the Market for the end of March 2023. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call at 508-566-0051 or shoot me an email at sjzaino@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.